What is up, everyone? Happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we make the news suck just a little bit less. Appreciate you guys all being here. Make sure you hit that like button. More likes, more hooligans. I'm going to go through the schedule really quick. We're going to read through the chat, make sure everybody's doing good. Let me know how you're doing in the chat. Then we'll get everything started. At 6:45 p.m. Eastern time today, we will be hearing from the Orange Eagle. We're going to be covering Trump. He'll be live for Turning Point Action Conference in West Palm Beach, Florida. It'll be on all the platforms except for YouTube. So when it's time for him to be on stage, you just click the link tree and you can click any of the platforms that are not YouTube, and you'll be able to come watch with us, me and all the hooligans. We'll be starting off this live with a video titled "The Actors vs. AI." We keep doing updates on the strike between the writers and actors in Hollywood shutting down, and they act like that's a big threat and stuff. Nobody cares, when it happened in the music industry. Nobody cared when AI and Photoshop took over the the photo industry. Nobody cared about that. Well, show business's turn. Getting replicated and replaced, just like everything else. Devaluing show business. Well, it is what it is. They want people to care, and a lot of people just don't care. Anyways, after that, then we have a video titled "Sheila Jackson Lee Warns of Gun Threat to Children. 4.6 million minors live with guns in the home." This person's always saying crazy stuff, and now they want to locate tax dollars into providing safety instruments with firearms. But every gun I've ever purchased has always come with a gun lock, so don't know exactly what the hell she's talking about. I'm sure she doesn't either, but we'll be covering that. Then we have a video titled Mark somebody excretes that woke programs and military praise GOP NDAA amendments to cut them. They're talking about cutting all the woke stuff out of the military, CRP, all that kind of stuff. Everything, CRT rather, is being all cut out of the military. It's probably because the recruitment sucks right now. That's all I see is tons of videos in the news, tons of articles about how they can't recruit new individuals into the military because nobody wants to be woke. Nobody wants to go rainbow hair colored. Nobody wants to care about your little titles you've placed upon yourself. You're there to be a machine that works for freedom. That's it. And if that's not the job, nobody wants it. So now they're cutting all the woke stuff. It's funny how things are turning around. And then we have a short video from Piers Morgan titled "The Democrat Establishment Has Had Enough Old Man Walter." It's just another highlight reel of him looking like a total buffoon. We're going to cover that, and then we're going to wrap things up with a video titled "Shoulda Called an Uber. Deputy Smashes into a Drunk Driver." I mean, if you're going to hit somebody, ended up being a sheriff, like what's the chance of that? That's how we're going to wrap things up today. Once again, at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be covering the Orange Eagle on all the alternative platforms, or all the non-YouTube platforms. I'll send out notifications when we go live for that. Let's get through the chat, make sure everything is doing good. See how far I can scroll up. It's hit or miss with YouTube. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Tumbleweed? What's up, Norman? What's up, Adrian? Happy freedom. Tumbleweed, I'll talk about the car in a second. What's up, Anthony? What's up, Donnie Brooklyn? What's up, 24/7? What's up, Mike? What's up, Robert Jr.? What's up, Donald? What's up, Snooks? Happy freedom, all of you hooligans. I appreciate you guys. Let's see. I appreciate you being here, Charles. What's up, Moose Girl? What's up, Larry? What's up, Sam? Happy freedom, hooligans. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend so far. Gotta pull up the secret YouTube channel, see if it's running, see if it's being shadow banned. Oh, let's see. There I am. What's up, everyone on the secret YouTube channel? What's up, Grey Wolf? What's up, 10 Man? What's up, Crazy Hillbilly? Happy freedom. Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, everyone on Twitch? What's up, Grey Wolf? What's up, Soul Frill? What's up, Mr. Beans and Beans? Snooks, did you get your name? You got your name changed. That's interesting. When did you do that? That's new. I didn't even know that was a thing. What's up, Peyton? Happy freedom. Appreciate you guys all being here. What's up, everyone watching over on Kick? Got another follower on Kick. That's awesome. We're moving up in the world over on Kick. What's up, Salty Ragu? Happy freedom. Oh, Odyssey. Odyssey's my redheaded stepchild. What's up, everyone over on Odyssey? Happy freedom. I'm interested to see the new updates that are coming out for Odyssey. I'm keeping a close eye on Twitter, waiting for more announcements and stuff. I told you guys the other day I seen an announcement from Odyssey, and I want to say their tech guy also was talking about things to come to Odyssey, things on the horizon. So I'm assuming there's some updates coming. What's up, everyone on Rumble? What's up, Undercrofter? What's up, Serum? What's up, Patty? Happy Freedom, Hooligans. Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, Donna Sparks? What's up, everyone on jeffmaclive.com? Happy Freedom, you Hooligans. So we're going to get started with this first video titled Actors vs. AI. Normally, well, this is the 5, whatever. We're going to watch the whole episode. Normally we don't, but I think everything they're saying is pretty parallel with the same things all of us have been thinking and what we were talking about yesterday. So we're just going to move right into that. Let's get her started, Hooligans.
A double strike in Hollywood that could ruin your favorite TV show. Thousands of actors grinding America's entertainment industry to a halt after hitting the picket line and joining the writers who've been there for months. Tense negotiations with the major studios said to have suddenly broken down right as the summer's hottest movies like Barbie hit the big screen. The A-list cast of one of those movies, Oppenheimer, left their big premiere in the UK to write up some strike signs themselves. So what's this beef all about? Apparently a lot of it has to do with artificial intelligence. Actors worried that their likeness is going to be replaced by a robot. Union president and former star of The Nanny, Fran Drescher, explaining that one.
If we don't stand tall right now, we are all going to be in trouble. We are all going to be in jeopardy of being replaced by machines.
These companies haven't done nearly enough to provide for the consent of performers to the use of their digital replica and likeness. I mean, the idea that these companies should be able to take somebody's voice, their face, their body, and just control that and use that without meaningful consent, it's anathema, it's unacceptable, and there'll be no deal unless that's resolved.
Technology was heavily involved in our last story in a great way. Technology seems to be involved here as these actors are worried about money from streaming and AI. How do you think about this,
It's a weird thing because what they're talking about in some ways is that if you are an extra, you get you only get paid once. It's like, hey, I'm an extra. I'm going to do like 10 movies this month. No, they might just take your face and make you an extra and everything else, and you get paid for that. But you might not have been paid at all if you didn't get that job. So it's kind of like maybe they pay you more. I don't know. It's a fair point. The thing is, the writers have been on strike since May, and now you've got the actors, and it's hard to tell if people are noticing it, right? Two people aren't like. It's not like in the. I think somebody went on strike in the 80s. Like when sports go on strike, everybody notices it, right? But you don't notice it now, and it's because we created such a silo, a backup ration of entertainment, right? It's like you don't need mediocre new TV if you can binge watch all of Columbo, which is amazing, or the Rockford Files, which I would do. It's like there's so much stuff that maybe a strike is necessary for all of us to catch up. I will say the 5 is safe. You can't replicate this. This is not normal. I'm not normal. Harold, you are not. None of us are normal. And why? And it's because AI is based on predictions, being able to best predict human behavior and do it as mathematically, as fast as possible. And you can't. We're too unpredictable as humans. At least we are. Not The View.
Jesse,
what about outnumbered?
As old as 1960 was the last time the writers and the actors went on strike together. But as far back as that was, 60-something years now, it was all over movies playing on television and how actors would get paid for it. Here we are now dealing with a similar thing. How do you think about this?
Some people have told me that my timing is impeccable. Days before I go to 8 o'clock, every writer and every actor in America goes on strike. I have no competition. All scripted shows are going to be stale. You have to watch me now. I'm just saying, I'm just a very fortunate person. I remember years ago when people all throughout the heartland were complaining that their jobs were being taken away. Their jobs were going to China, Indonesia, Mexico, and all of these factories were leaving, and no one in Hollywood said a damn thing about it. They just watched these people lose their jobs and their livelihood, and Donald Trump came along, and he said, let's bring these jobs back. And they hated Donald Trump for that. And if you read Fran Drescher, she's saying the exact same thing Donald Trump said. She's out there saying, this is a moment of truth. These big businesses and this new technology is taking these jobs away from us, and it's time to stand together. She didn't stand together when everybody else was losing their job. When the Keystone Pipeline workers lost their job, or the miners in Minnesota, or any of the car guys, all this stuff went to Mexico. So it's a little too late, in my opinion. But it's happening to her, and this is probably the last union that's been affected to this type of radical change.
Kaylee?
Yeah, Hollywood actors want to be paid more. I mean, cry me a river here. This is ridiculous. I don't watch Hollywood award shows because it's leftists patting one another on the back. This strike is just leftists infighting. That's what this is. It affects the caterer most. It affects the crew members most, the people who depend on their paycheck, all because the people at the top want more money is what it comes down to. I think it's crazy. Not only that, they say we can expect further delays in upcoming film releases. Okay, upcoming film releases. My family will survive. We don't need Hollywood. But you know what we couldn't have survived? The essential workers, the healthcare workers showing up during the pandemic, the meat packers showing up during the pandemic. They showed up to do their job. But Fran Drescher wants to sit there. She called herself a victim today. She called all of Hollywood actors a victim. I don't think most people in America look at them and say, victims, we're going to miss your movies.
And what?
Yeah, I think that's the reason why so many people find the actors' argument so unpalatable, because they're essentially saying, cry me a river, you who are worth $160 million. But the value in it for this contract negotiation and disagreement is the fact that they are now becoming the figurehead speakers for the guys, the writers and the like, that are showing up every day, day in and day out, making very little money. And if you put this conversation into the rubric of, yes, it's entertainment, it is considered the creative arts or the performing arts. If we keep it there just for a second, it's interesting to sort of talk about the notion of whether the big studios can use your likeness in perpetuity. Can you show up for one day, they use your image as much as they want, you get paid one day. If you are hired not as the scriptwriter anymore, but as the editor for a script that AI generated. And interestingly, Sarah Silverman and a few others are spearheading a lawsuit where they are suing the big studios, saying the reason you have the compilation AI does is that they used my content. That the reason AI, as you put forth, that it sort of mathematically generates this content, it's because it has mined the internet for the content. Mm-hmm. So the artists are saying, that was my content to begin with, so now this is just a derivative. But it does go into the point you guys are making where this new streaming ecosystem has sort of undermined a lot of these guys' salaries. And the question is, who cares? And also, America probably doesn't, because to your point, I'm fine watching reruns of the same stuff. I'm fine reading. I'm fine watching some stupid YouTube video. Mm-hmm. It's the studios. It's these guys that say, I'm an artist, this is my craft, that tend to care a whole hell of a lot more than we do.
You know what's weird about this whole segment is that Harold led it, and I think that was on purpose, because then no one asks you any questions about this topic. But I look at you, and I know what's going on. I know what's going on, Harold. Harold, you're on their side.
I'm upset about this.
You're on their side. Look at
This is these guys.
Separated at birth.
This
Separated at birth.
That looks nothing like you, Harold.
Oh, come on.
Nothing like you.
Literally identical.
You think about our cinematic history, and you talk the last 100 years, you talk to CEOs in America who were born outside this country. They all talk to how American TV and American movies influence and introduce them to American way of life. I hope they get to the bottom of this. I do think even if the American people don't care about it, they're making a great point, and you made it with the Sarah Silverman piece. They shouldn't be able to do this, even if we think they're hypocritical, even if we think they're disingenuous at times. It may be wrong what's happening, but whatever the case, I hope they figure it out, because I want to see some new movies. Coming up, Joe Biden.
I don't know. I feel like there was a couple good talking points in there. Like I said at the beginning, nobody cared when it happened to music. Nobody cared when it happened to photography. As they brought up, nobody cared when it happened to the automotive industry or any other big corporation or place of manufacturing got outsourced to somewhere else. It's just show business's time to get replaced by something else. Now, I don't think it's necessarily right to capture someone's face and then use AI to put it in other movies and not pay that person royalties, because that's not really any different than sampling. In music, a lot of times people will do what's called sampling. Well, they'll go to another song, they'll cut a little section of it out, and then they will use it in their own music. You have to pay royalties for that. You have to pay to get a license to be able to do it. You can't just go do it or you'll get sued for copyright and stuff. And it can cost you everything. There's lots of producers and stuff that lose everything because they decided to sample Marvin Gaye, for instance. Their family has created so much wealth over taking people to court for copyright just from people, producers sampling Marvin Gaye tracks and stuff like that, using it in their own hip-hop beats and songs and stuff like that. And they turn around, the family sues them and gets a whole bunch of money and bankrupts that production area. It's not any different if Hollywood's going to do the same thing. They're going to take a picture of your face or a clip from you being in a film and then replicate your face in all their movies from there on out and not pay you royalties for it. I don't think that's necessarily right. But it's how it's going to go. When was the last time anyone paid for music? I don't pay for music, and I create music. I spent $75,000 to go to school for music. I still don't pay for music. It's movies' turn. I don't care. I said that yesterday. I was like, I really don't care. The movies and TV shows, they've sucked lately. I don't know the last time I seen something that was good that came out of Hollywood. Nothing. All the actors that I used to think were so great, they're not. Look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. People used to love him until he said, screw your freedoms. And he was really about that. Now I can't stand him. Every time I see his face, I put that in the comments. And people forget. They forget, just like the Antifa live streamers. You see Antifa live streamers and you'll see patriots in their chat like, God bless you. Like, what do you mean? They were burning buildings down 2 years ago, but everyone forgets. And so I hold them. Anytime I see a video with an actor that I know that was out on the island, I'm dropping comments in there. I want to remind people like, hey, this person you're supporting is a bad person. And nothing good comes out of Hollywood. And so that was the other thing they were saying. They were like, oh, you're crying about the millions of dollars that you're making. You make more than anybody else at any other job. Like, nobody's feeling bad for you. Sam, this could change the what can I say, because I can't say that word. Adult industry completely. It could. I hear those adult actresses and stuff, they don't make nothing. Like, they make like $1,000 for doing that recording, but then they put it on the hub and they put it in all these places and it gets millions of views and generates all this revenue. And those actresses, they don't get paid for it. It's whoever runs the studio actually makes all the money. So it's, as much as it looks like prostitution, it really is prostitution. Like, yeah, they get their little payment, but the pimps are the ones that make all the money out of it. So I don't know. We got a weird future ahead of us. I know that AI is affecting everything. Some are going to use it for good and some are going to use it for evil. Just like everything else in the world, right? What's up, Mike? Happy freedom. Just reading through chat really quick before we move to the next video. Salter Ragu, Little House on the Prairie, here we come. We're going to end up that way. Something's going to happen. They're going to knock our electronics out, and I feel like most of the world, or most of the country, isn't going to know what to do. They're going to suffer without their TikTok and all that. Maybe that's how we'll get protesters back in the street. They won't know how to do anything else. They'll be like, well, I was either on my phone or I was in the streets protesting, and the phones are gone now. Well, it's only one thing to do. Maybe that's how they'll get back in the street. I don't know what we're going to do, though. We'll have to draw images. Smoke signals. There's a protest going on. Come hang out with us. Just reading through the chat real quick. Gird, no Arby's is still open 24/7. That sounds like an innuendo. What's up, Kim? Happy freedom. You guys all googly eyeing those reporters. 24/7. Are the adult actors on strike? I don't think so. I don't think they could afford it. They don't make as much as Hollywood actors and stuff like that. They get paid ridiculous amounts. It's kind of like when we talk about people who play sports, football players and basketball players, and they're like taking a knee for the national anthem, and they're talking about how oppressed they are. It's like, you get paid millions of dollars to play a game. Like, calm down. Your life's not that hard. The least you could do is stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, come on, man. Charles, screw Hollywood. Yeah. I don't think anybody feels bad for Hollywood. I think maybe the individuals that aren't being treated fairly or whatever, people could have sympathy for that, but I haven't seen proof that they're not being compensated appropriately. Maybe I don't know enough about it, but that's their fault. I mean, here I am covering them. If they're not raising awareness of specifically what is going wrong in their path, then what are they doing striking? What are they doing protesting it? You're not even raising awareness for what's wrong. You're just like, I'm not being treated fairly while I make shitty movies. What do you want anyone to do about that? What's up, Kevin? Happy freedom. What's up, Soul for real? Appreciate you being here. Girls, you think they're just greedy? They might be. They might be. Tumbleweed no to AI. I think AI has usefulness in a certain kind of light. You know, in a way, you can use it to work for you, to extend your workflow. Where normally you would have to pay someone to do it, which it's good to create jobs, but look at how people work nowadays. Here today and gone tomorrow. Stop everything you're doing because you trusted this person to stick around and they decided it was Friday and they'd rather be out at the beach instead of go to work. So then they didn't show up today and now business has come to a halt because you trust that person. Well, instead you can put that workflow on AI and the AI doesn't have a choice to run away. It just does what you tell it to do. And it's like a toaster. It's really like a toaster. They treat it like it's a living thing, like it's sentient or whatever, and it's not. It's like a toaster. You put the toast in, you put the thing down, cooked toast comes out. That's how AI works right now. You prompt it, it delivers out the other end. So I don't know. I don't want to take people's jobs away, but people are kind of wishy-washy right now. So it's give or take. It depends what you're going to use it for. Kim, you just recently heard about the Only Hooligans thing? That's not new. That's not new at all. I think that stuff is failing. I think people selling their feet pics and stuff, I think that stuff is going downhill. I know sex sells and all that stuff, but I think a bunch of people got into it when they lost their jobs during the plague or they forfeited their jobs or whatever. And a lot of women were like, well, I'll just blink my back door on camera and sell it for $3 a month and people will come pay me for it. Sell feet pics and all this other stuff. People pay me for it, and people did because they were all stuck in their house and they had nothing else to do other than sit there and beat it like Michael Jackson and, you know, providing content. But now people aren't locked in their house anymore, and it's oversaturated. Every female that doesn't want to work is taking pictures of their feet and putting on Only Hooligans and thinking they're going to make a couple bucks. It ain't working anymore. And so I'm seeing that industry failing. On top of that, those models, they go by mattress actresses, and they're proud of it. They're deleting themselves because of the depression it causes to expose yourself like that to strangers on the internet. Yeah, at first it's fun. Maybe you can buy a car with the money you're making. Some people have even bought houses from it. But you feel so bad about yourself. You feel so ashamed that you don't stick around to even enjoy it. It's folding in on itself. It was like a big thing, but I think it's on its way out. What's up, Vote Justin out? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being here. 24/7 AOC is baffled by toasters. I bet she's got an Only Hooligans. Just by how toxic she is and screaming and squawking and stuff. I bet, like DeRosa's saying, I bet she's got starfish pics over on the internet. Wouldn't surprise me at all. It's usually the most toxic people that are out there doing that. They think they found a better way. I don't know. I get hurt about money. I'm like, I could probably put Klaus's feet pics on the internet. People might pay for that. I don't know. We'll see. I have to exploit Klaus for money. I'm not that hard up yet. Not yet. Getting there. Just keeping those ideas in my back pocket just in case things don't work out. I'm selling Klaus's feet pics. What's up, TMWT? Happy freedom. Barbie, a big movie? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I barely even hear any advertisement for most movies that come out. Like, I wouldn't even know that Sound of Freedom was out if it wasn't so many people talking about it, like in the comments and stuff like that. I don't ever see advertisement for it. I don't know what big movies come out. And anytime I see a Marvel movie, I think it sucks. And every other movie that comes out looks like some other movie that's already been remade 6 times. I don't really enjoy watching TV or movies anymore, so I'm not sad to see Hollywood just folding in on themselves. Queen Bravo, too bad, so sad. I hope Hollyweird implodes. Yeah, I think so too. Well, and half those people aren't even around anymore. The actors and actresses that were in all the movies that we've been watching the last 30 years, they're either not here anymore, like Robin Williams and stuff like that, or they're fleeing, like Ellen DeGeneres. I know that's not her name, but that's what I call her. Or Forrest Gump, the guy who plays Forrest Gump. He had to move to Greece because his lifestyle choices. He's a predator, and he knows that, and he knows other people know that. So he became a citizen of Greece, where that's legally allowed over there. They consider it a preference if you want to go and harm children that way. And they legally allowed it. So he became a citizen of Greece when the plague was full-blown plague mode. He went and became a citizen over there so people wouldn't come after him. Now, just recently, has he been coming back over here and doing more things out in the public here? Probably because everyone forgot. Because that's how people are. People's attention span is about a year or two, and then after that, it's like a brand new day. And all of a sudden, they forgot about the people that are out there hurting children and doing human trafficking and all this. They just forget and go back to supporting that actor because they liked this one movie this one time on that one day. I don't know why people are like that, but I'm not like that. I'm so stubborn. I will never forgive those people for that kind of stuff. I haven't watched Forrest Gump or any of those movies since, and I like Forrest Gump, but I won't watch it because it's a child predator on the screen. Can't support that. I'm not going to like him just because he's singing and dancing for me. He's still a bad person, and I ain't with it. I'm not with it. 10-man, the SAG has nobody to blame but themselves. Yep. They're running their own show right into the ground. That's how it's going. Serum, you crack me up. Alright. I'm going to flip over to this next video. This one's titled Sheila Jackson Lee Warns of Gun Threat to Children. 4.6 million minors live with guns in the home. It should be more than that. It should be more than that. Every home should have guns in it with legal, law-abiding, responsible gun-owning Americans. Every child should live in a home like that. It's your right. As an American. All right, hooligans, let's get this started.
Speaker, in this week to stop gun violence, it is important to remind all of you that 4.6 million minors live with guns in the home, many of those unstored. And every year, almost 20,000 children are shot and killed or wounded by firearms. In fact, homicide is now the #1 killer of children. Kimberly Vaughn, a young innocent of 14 years old with a wonderful mother who served in the military, was killed in 2018 when a 17-year-old student went on a shooting spree. Those guns were left in the home. I introduced the Kimberly Vaughn Safe Storage Act. I asked my colleagues, Republicans and Democrats, to join me because it asked the Attorney General to give best practices, voluntary, related to safe firearm storage, publish them on a website. Labeling, simply label and say, please store your guns. When you go and buy it at a retailer store, to give the devices to make sure that you have those storage locks, if you could. Provide grants to states and local governments for a 10-year, $10 million grant program for local government nonprofit to distribute safe storage devices. No burden to you whatsoever. And then, of course, to give you a tax credit for doing so.
Gentlewoman's time has expired.
Republicans and Democrats, join us. Save lives, save the children's lives, stop gun violence, the Kimberly Vaughn Storage Act.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
I don't know. This sounds like a whole bunch of nothing to me. She thinks she's really saying something. She's not necessarily saying that firearms should come with a storage, like a safe of some sort. She's saying a safety storage device, such as a gun lock. But every gun I've ever purchased, rifle or pistol, has always come with a gun lock. So I don't know what she's talking about. So they want to put tax money towards that when it's already a thing? To me, it sounds like the background check thing. They're like, we need more background checks. I've never bought a gun that didn't come with a background check. So, like, what are we talking about? Because criminals aren't going to get a background check. Criminals aren't going to store their guns properly because they don't want anyone to know that they have them. So you're not going to go into a criminal's house who's not supposed to have a firearm and just see a gun safe sitting there full of guns. I mean, you might if they're slow and they bite their own ears, then maybe. But criminals who have a semi-functioning brain, they're not doing that. They're sticking it in the pillowcase. They're sticking it under the mattress. They're putting it under the floorboards. They're doing stuff like that because they're not supposed to have it. It's not a legally registered firearm. They don't want anyone to know that they got it, so they got to hide it. And then the kid finds it because that's what kids do. They find stuff. They're curious little creatures. They go through all your cupboards and your drawers when you're in the shower or you're not home or whatever's going on. They're sneaky little things, and they will find it, which is why you can't just simply hide it and call it a day. You got to store it properly, or even better, teach your kids about their gun rights that they're going to have when they become adults who can make their own choices. I don't know. They're trying to ban common sense. That's what they're trying to do. We need to invest in our kids, make them smarter, and I don't know. She's just talking a bunch of nonsense, trying to find more ways to spend all of our tax dollars. Witchy 12, it's all about not cracking down on criminals. It's true. It's true. They keep making more laws when we already acknowledge that criminals don't follow laws. It just doesn't make any sense. Denoy's Democrat propaganda is the #1 killer of children. I agree. Jeffro, we were all going to kick the bucket from the plague as well, remember? Yeah. They were telling us that like every day. We made it. We made it. Where's our congratulations and pats on the back? Oh, we don't get one because we didn't go out and get the jabby jab. Sad story. Firmus, did you show Tucker destroying Pence? No, we couldn't show that stuff on YouTube. I cut a short of Pence saying that he's not concerned about Americans, but in order to keep the context on it, I can't put it on YouTube because it talks about the blue and yellow country, and I can't talk about it. It's a big deal to talk about that. To talk about the weather and to talk about the blue and yellow country is the only time that YouTube has sent me an email in advance saying, if you talk about this, we will demonetize your whole channel permanently. That's the only time I've ever been contacted by YouTube ahead of time. So I can't talk about this stuff. That's why we never show that stuff. But Tucker Carlson, he was going ham. He interviewed Pence, but he also interviewed a few other people. And Tucker Carlson's supposed to be at the thing that's going on today, the Turning Point Action Conference. Tucker Carlson's supposed to be there too. Trump's going to be there. Oh, I can't remember who else is. There's supposed to be someone else there. Let me check it really quick, because we're going to be showing that later today. Let me see. Charlie Kirk's going to be there. Tucker Carlson's going to be there. And President Trump is going to be there. And then President Trump is expected to be on stage about 6:45 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be covering that everywhere except for YouTube, just because of YouTube's community guidelines. Let's read through the chat really quick before we move forward. Edward, when they say kids, they're talking 0 to 19 years old. Yeah, that's like when they say teenagers in Chicago are rioting, and then they make arrests, and they're like, well, we have one 27-year-old who was arrested, and we have another one's 22 who was arrested. And it's like, well, then why are you telling everyone that they're teenagers? They're obviously not teenagers. They should be like randos in the street out in Chicago setting Starbucks on fire for TikTok clout. That's how you know social media is bad. You're just willing to burn down the city at 20 years old so you can be cool on TikTok. How cool do you think you're going to be? Like, what is the thought process behind that? I'm going to set this building on fire. Me and my 90 buddies, we're all going to be holding the camera out selfie style and stuff so everyone can see my face and they can see how cool I am standing out here in front of the fire with our favorite song playing in the background. I'm going to be a legend. What? Like, how is that sustainable? They think they're going to be the Catch Me Outside girl or something. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. So for I'll be on Twitch for Trump's speech. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll be live on Twitch, Kick, Odyssey, Rumble, and jeffmaclive.com for the Orange Eagle. Jeffro Blaze TV is the one who did it. Yeah, with Tucker Carlson. Was it yesterday or the day before? I keep seeing clips, and like I said, I made one. I put it on TikTok because TikTok is less censored than YouTube is. I can't put it on YouTube though. It wasn't worth it. I was like, I almost did, and then I was like, well, if I get a strike, then I can't go live for 2 weeks. So then how am I going to show the Trump rally tomorrow? And I'm like, well, I could, but then I'm not going to be able to tell anyone on YouTube to come over to Rumble to watch it. So then it's going to mess up everything I'm doing. And then on Monday, everybody's going to be like, where's Jeff? And I won't be able to reach you guys. So I was like, nope, can't show it. That's my brain. 24 hours a day is thinking like that. Like, how can I get everyone's attention and keep the information flowing so we can network between each other without catching a strike and being taken out for a week or two? If I do something bad enough, they'll never let me come back. So I got to watch my P's and Q's, or at least look like I'm watching my P's and Q's. I'll change the letters around and they won't be able to pick up what I'm laying down. Sam, will it be on Odyssey? It will. It will be on Odyssey. What's up, Wacko? Happy freedom. Mike, it was yesterday. Yeah, all the days blend together, so I can't never tell. I'm like, was it yesterday or a week ago? I can't really tell. What's up, No Mandates? Happy freedom. DeRosa, catch me outside. How about that? Yeah, see, like, she's not famous for anything now either. I still see her making videos and stuff, but she, like, gave her life to Jesus, and she talks about God, and she has terrible acne problems. And she talks about that, and all of her fans are like, go outside and fist fight someone. Go act like a belligerent asshole. And she's like, well, I don't do that anymore. And they're like, I'm unsubscribing. That's why it doesn't make any sense to go out there and burn a building down and be like, I'm going to get TikTok clout. You get clout from that, you'll have to burn a building down every day. Otherwise, everybody's going to leave. So it just ain't worth it. People are so stupid. Spirit Matter, damn YouTube censors. Yeah. They've been hitting me hard, too. Lately, this, like, last week, it's like every live gets demonetized. 2 or 3 out of the 5 got age restricted for nothing. I don't do anything, but they hover over me. They don't like me being here. I hear that Tucker Carlson's gonna try and start his own news network. I think that would be awesome. I think it would be awesome. I wonder if he's going to disappear, though. I wonder if they're going to get him. They did the same thing to Kanye. Kanye came back. He disappeared. He was with AJ. He was wearing that mask. He was talking crazy stuff. And then he disappeared. And he came back. And now he looks different. He's, like, taller than he's ever been. He sounds different. Now he's wearing Balenciaga stuff. And he's doing all the stuff that he said he would never do. And why he's not a part of it because of all the predators in Hollywood and stuff. Now he's participating in all that stuff. It's because they got him. They got him. They do it to all the rappers when they get big enough. Eminem disappeared for 4 years, came back, all of a sudden he's different. Sounding different, using accents and stuff for the first time ever. Now he's just different. He's just different now. All the rappers are like that. And I'm surprised that, like, Joe Rogan and stuff hasn't been got. And I think maybe they did get him. And either he complied and they let him back out, or the copy they got for him is just really good to his personality. It seems a lot like him. And I don't know. I think it's really him because they went after him over the special sauce that he went and got because he wasn't feeling good. And then CNN put him up there and they put a green tint on him to make him look really sickly. And then he was, like, trying to sue them for that. I don't know, but when you get big enough, they come after you if you ain't speaking in line. And I'm wondering about Tucker Carlson, if they're going to come for him, because now he's saying all kinds of stuff. He's saying federal agents were involved in J6 and it was an inside job and all this stuff that many of us already know. But for someone big like Tucker Carlson to be out there like, yeah, like, what do you think I don't know about this stuff? He knows about all this stuff because he's behind the scenes. They get all this information and then it gets dictated. What are they allowed to say and not allowed to say? And now that he's not working for Fox anymore, he's like, by the way, these are all the things I was told I was not allowed to say to you guys. And he's just saying it out loud now. And so I wonder if he's going to disappear eventually before he comes out with his own news network. And even if he does, they're going to say he's like AJ. They're going to be like, this ain't InfoWars, blah, blah. He's getting banned. To hell with Tucker Carlson. They're going to paint him up to be a bad guy, just like the Sound of Freedom. If you go watch Sound of Freedom, you're a QAnon conspiracy theorist, Trump supporter, and you love conspiracy theories, so you're going to watch a movie it's based on a real story, but the real story is a fake conspiracy. And that's what they're out there saying. See, I'm going to end up getting this live age restricted and stuff too, just because of talking about that. I got to watch everything. Keep my eyes open. Let's see. V9. Why do you think companies have been going woke despite seeing the backlash they get? Because they're doing what they're told. That's why. They're doing what they're told. And the other part of it is that they're basing their numbers off fake crap. I talked about this either yesterday or the day before. KJP does the same thing. She comes out and she's like, well, the numbers say this, and it'll be a screen behind her or whatever. And you know those numbers are fake. You know those numbers are just made up so she can justify what she's about to say next. Well, they give those fake numbers to everyone. They're like, oh, yeah, if you go and use rainbows for this, that, and the other, you're going to get all these people on your side. You may lose numbers. You may not have as many people show up to buy your stuff. But the few people who do buy your stuff, they're going to give you so much money that it'll be more than if you were to please everyone anyways. It's all part of the agenda. You know, like George Soros, you could look at it like that. Like you would say, well, why would you be a paid protester? You're going to make everyone in town hate you. You're going to make everyone on the news hate you. You're going to make everyone on social media hate you. Why would you do that? Well, because you're going to get so much money if you please Soros. You're only pleasing one guy while you're pissing everyone else off, but you'll make more money than you've ever made before. So then they do it. And that's why the companies do it. They do the same thing. They're doing what they're told. It's all a scam. And they're all in on it. Donna Sparks, government needs to quit trying to raise our kids. Guns don't shoot themselves. Parents need their rights back. I agree. What's up, Ghostly Method? Happy freedom. Appreciate you guys being over here. What's up, 10 Man? Yeah, the government needs to stick their nose out of our business, but I don't know. I've been watching a lot of older shows and older movies, and I think about how we'll never be that free again. Watching movies from like the 80s and stuff, and you see people just hop in their gas-powered car and go drive down the road. No phone in the vehicle, no tracking device that we know of. The phone stays at the house attached to the wall. Government doesn't know where you're going. You could go anywhere. They don't even know. They're not tracking you. They're not listening to you. They're not watching you through your cameras on your phone or your ding-dong doorbell camera thing. No cameras in your house. No cameras on your computer. People don't even have computers in an everyday house. And I'm like, we'll never be that free again. They would never let us be that free again. They need to know what we're doing because they know that we're like keeping track of things now. I think before they just thought we were ignorant, and they were like, well, we don't need to pay attention to every one of them. You know, they're out there doing nothing. They're eating McDonald's, getting fat, and catching cancer. It doesn't matter. They're fine. And now AJ went and spilled the beans, and now everybody's like, well, we can't use any more AJs. We got enough people out there telling the truth about us. People won't trust us to take care of them anymore. Maybe they'll be self-sustaining. Maybe they'll unite. Maybe they'll run their own communities and stuff. And they don't want us to do that. They don't want us to do that. If we all network and stay together and put our differences aside so we can be self-sustaining without the government, that's a big blow to their control. They don't want that. They don't want that. DeRosa, go out and play. Yeah, but don't take your phones with you. They'll be tracking you. You come back, all your advertisements will be everything you talked about. A lot of people think the advertisements are starting to be based off what you think. There's a lot of people who are like, man, I was thinking about doing something, but I never said it to anyone. I picked my phone up. I'm getting advertisements for it. I don't know how true that stuff is, but God only knows. The simulation is something else nowadays. New Dawn, Klaus has close combat training at 4:30. What time is it? We got about 2.5 hours. He's ready. He's taking a power nap right now before he has to go in there and show him how it's really done. What's up, Caleb? Happy freedom. Thank you so much, Flusha Art, or Flusha Art, for the $5 donation. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Let's see. Recent studies show an alarming link between being a conspiracy theorist and not having myocarditis. I read good. I don't know. You know, not all conspiracies are theories. People get mad when you say that, unless you believe what's going on because you see it with your own eyes. People are like, you're a conspiracy theorist. And then you're like, not all conspiracies are theories. And they're like, don't talk to me. You must be a Trump supporter. You must love America or something like that. Don't talk to me anymore. I'll gather my comrades and we'll burn down the doghouse. Don't you tempt us. I'm surprised they ain't brought bestiality up. I can't figure out what's next. I know that they're coming after the kids, but pretty soon they'll be trying to bang your dog. Or if we pass that point, I'm having a hard time keeping track of all the nonsense. Crab Nebula, I appreciate you being here. Happy freedom. Dharma Agent, shout out to JeffMAC's English teacher. They were working hard when I was younger. I didn't have to struggle so much when I was in school. They gave us all MacBooks, so everything you wrote just got got corrected. I'm trying to think what it's called. It's a software you download. I keep want to say googly. That's not what it's called. It's called something, but you'll write a sentence and then it'll be like, you're actually supposed to say it this way. And I'm like, yeah, okay, just fix it so everybody knows what I'm talking about. My broken English. Creb Nebula, brains or conspiracy theories. Yeah. Sam, that's what the jab causes. I just seen something saying that they're trying to hide more information on that. There was some big company that tells us all what to do if the plague comes back around. And they were just busted changing death certificates because of that. Because of that right there. Because death certificates are saying complications because of the jab. And that big company don't want people gathering that information. So they've been changing those certificates and they got busted somehow. But I haven't been able to find a way to present that information without getting censored. If I get censored, the time period's too long. The consequences of catching a strike is so severe that it's not worth it. And it sucks because sometimes that's what makes people leave. As they're like, well, you can't even say what you're trying to say. Why should I watch you? And it's like, well, I could, but I'd say it this one time. And if you weren't here to hear it, I'd be gone. They'd take the video down, I'd be gone, and then nobody would ever hear from me again. So what's the point of what's that? You know, it's got to be sustainable. It's got to be able to sit here. So if you're not here right now because you're at work or you got responsibilities, you got to be able to come back and watch it, catch that information that's going on. If I just come out and say it that one time, I'll be gone. Unless we can get everybody over to Rumble and jeffmaclive.com, then I'll just be spilling the beans left and right. We'll just call things what they are. But until people come over there, I have to keep doing the song and dance the way I do it. Edward, encryption stops targeting ads. Yep, it's true. That's true. Sly Dog, Grammarly, that's what I was thinking of. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Grammarly's, it's all right. If you got to write professional letters and stuff like that, or you just come from the land of Ebonics, it really makes you sound better. Grammarly is nice and free. New Dawn, it was Hooked on Phonics. Hooked on Phonics didn't work for me. I used to have a t-shirt that said, Hooked on Phonics made me read good. And all the letters were backwards and capitals like in the middle of the word and stuff like that. Brought back a core memory. Robert, I walked out of a Home Depot without buying anything, turned on my phone, and the first thing that popped up was a Home Depot ad. Yeah, it's because they're monitoring everything we do. Now they're going to take that information and they're going to plug AI into it. They're no longer going to have your own personal FBI agent watching you through your phone while you're beating it. Now they're going to have AI doing it, and they'll keep track of everything. They'll put it into logs and analytics. They'll know how much you sleep on average. They'll know when you sleep on average. They'll know how long it takes you to eat and when you eat, how many times you eat a day, how many calories you consume while you're eating, how many words you can speak per second, how many times you blink in a day. They're going to know all that. They're going to track you to the point where you won't be able to trick the system because the system will be smarter than us. I think it's already there. We haven't been affected by it yet. Mike, I wonder how many people right now will switch to Rumble as we speak. Not enough. I wish, though. I've been talking about it with people on the phone, friends and whatnot, about I wish that I could do, like, non-YouTube platforms only on Saturday. Like, uncensored Coffee with Hooligans. But I think it would just make people leave. It's really difficult to do this job because one part is finding the information to provide, and the other one is keeping everyone's attention. If you don't keep everyone's attention, then I have all this information but nobody that wants it. And so I got to keep this juggling act to keep people around to be able to hear what's going on. And then I think if I was uncensored, maybe it would be such a shock to some people's system that they would just leave. They'd be like, holy crap, I know Jeff talk like that. Like, because I'm harsh and I'm very direct when I speak. I just can't be that way on YouTube or while YouTube's watching me. So I do a lot of and thinking and processing because the first three options of what I would say, I'm not allowed to say. So I got to go for a fourth or fifth option of word selection and phrasing and stuff so I can be here to go live tomorrow. It's quite difficult, but we're going to figure out something. We're going to figure out something because I would really love to really let loose on a live just one time and tell you guys what I'm really thinking. We've done it a couple times where I'm not having a good day, but we had stuff that we couldn't show on YouTube, so we went to Rumble only or whatever. And then I'm like, F this and F that. And everybody in the chat's like, Jesus, tell us how you really feel. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm honest. I just got to soften those edges a little bit while YouTube's around. Let's see. Yeah, Dharma Agent. I know who sticks around and who doesn't, but the algorithm's been hurting me a lot lately. Like, I lost 20 people since I saw you guys yesterday. What'd I do? Unknown. I don't know what made people leave, but they did. And it could be just the algorithm, so I don't know. It is quite a complicated song and dance that I do, although it doesn't look like it. Most people think I just sit here on my ass all day. I do not. I work very hard. Robert Jr. is still having trouble getting into the chat on Rumble. I'm not sure if they fixed the app or not. I know if you access it through like a web browser like Chrome, I wouldn't use Chrome, but Mozilla, Safari, I use the Brave browser, things like that. You should be able to access the chat. You got to sign in. You have to have an account and you have to sign in order to access the chat. I don't know about the app though. I don't have the app on my phone. I should get it. I just keep forgetting. Sam, speaking that hooliganese, I try. Snooks, I'd love free chat on Saturday. Go for it. Well, there's individuals that use YouTube because they don't know how to use other platforms. Maybe they're elderly. Maybe their phone couldn't handle downloading another app. Maybe they just don't have it in them to go and learn a new platform because of age, experience, expertise, whatever it may be. And I'm trying to reach those individuals too. So I try to be considerate of all of it, but the censorship is like affecting me. Like mentally it affects me. I go outside and I still don't call things what they are. Like I'm going to be banned in life or something like that. I'm going to catch a strike at Walmart. Like it's affecting me. Absolutely. It's affecting me. I'd love to be able to take all these instances and sue the hell out of YouTube and be like, this is how they've affected me emotionally and mentally because they're oppressing me while I'm trying to use the platform. It would never work, though. I'm too light-skinned for that. It would never work. Let's see. DeRosa, Trucker Talk with JeffMAC. Let's see. We need to do that on the website. I'm hilarious if you guys could get past being offended. Like WMM, he's so desensitized because I've known him for like, I don't know, 18 or 19 years now. And he used to be like, oh my God. And I'm like, what? He's like, I can't believe you just said that. Why? He's like, this just sounds terrible. That's all right. You'll get over it. And now he's just like, oh yeah? Like, just doesn't even matter anymore. Doesn't matter. It is like Trucker Talk. Talk like a sailor. It's hilarious though. Let's see, Snooks. 6:30 to 7. What are you talking about? The Orange Eagle? Is it Michelle? I can't never tell the difference between Michael and Michelle. I know you guys are like, well, that's ignorant. Well, I'm ignorant. I think it's Michelle. What is your sign? You mean like my horoscope? I'm a Pisces. And when people don't know what I am and I'm like, I'm a Pisces, they're like, mm-hmm. I'm like the poster child for a Pisces. It is what it is. Ghost, I've been here since Chop/Chaz. I ain't going nowhere. Still miss villain reports. Yeah, I appreciate you being here, Ghost. It's crazy how much has changed since then. Not just us, but the live streamers that have come and gone, the things we've experienced, the things that people have forgotten that happened. We have come a long way. I keep trying to think of ways to like revamp that old footage. I kind of want to go back to those old videos and cut them into shorts, but I don't know that we could get away with it. There wasn't the community guidelines back then that are here now, which is why we're able to show the riots. And that's why I keep telling you guys, if it gets spicy in the streets, I won't even be able to show it on YouTube. So I don't know. I feel conflicted about it, but I would like to so people would remember, because now people are like, who's this asshole? And then they come and go. But if they could see the things that we've seen and see how things were handled, what happened, how it went down, the lack of retaliation, the lack of structure, the lack of consequence to the individual saying and doing the things they were doing. I think if people could see that, I think that alone would kill wokeness. I feel like the generation of wokeness we're seeing right now is because it's cool, because it's trendy, because their older brothers, siblings, aunts, and uncles were all woke and protesting. So now these, what were teenagers are now getting to be 20. They're like, I'm woke too. I come from a family of wokeness. But I think if they could see the crazy stuff that was actually going on a couple years ago in the name of wokeness, they wouldn't want it. They wouldn't want it. Like, we watched that old lady get attacked. She was trying to defend a building, a business that Antifa was blowing the windows out of. I think it was in Seattle. It was nighttime, and she got out there and she was like, stop, and like stood in front of the doors and was like, stop. And so then they started ripping on her and hitting her and dumped a can of paint on her head and pulled her down to the ground and was like kicking her. And she's like 60, 70, 80 years old. They didn't care. They didn't care. They'd have killed that lady if it wasn't on camera. But they knew they were live streaming themselves, and they had just started getting in trouble because of self-incrimination, because they're going live and committing crime. And it took a half a year, almost a whole year, to be able to see consequence catch up to them. That's why they don't live stream anymore. That's why a lot of times you'll see clips of things that happened in Atlanta or Chicago or maybe out in Oregon, but you don't never see a live for it. It's because they started actually getting hit with consequence. There was accountability raining down on them because they were so proud of themselves. They were bragging about it. Oh, last week we ripped somebody out of their car being held at gunpoint with an AR-15 pointed at their face because they looked at me wrong, because they're racist, because they're driving a Ford Focus or what. Like, it was just crazy stuff going on and nobody was doing anything. But once that accountability started creeping back up, that's when they stopped going live. And that's how we got to where we are today. But I think if people could see that, they wouldn't be claiming to be woke. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it. MD Cyron, woke is lame AF. I agree. It is lame. People need to just come up with their own stuff. Why join some stuff they didn't create? They weren't there for the creation of it. They just picked it up and ran with it. I don't know. Thank you so much, Mike, for gifting 5 memberships over on YouTube. I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you for the support. You're awesome. Make sure you guys thank Mike if you claim one of those memberships. That stuff is not free. Let's see. Just reading through the chat really quick. We're about to move on to the next video here. Happy Freedom, Kugaresa. Thank you for being here. Tam rewatched the series Grimm, filmed in Portland a few years ago. Still awesome and fun to watch. I don't think I've ever seen that. I'll have to check it out. Reading through the chat. 10-man Rumble is censoring now. F that. Yeah. I haven't seen them take a video down yet. Their community guidelines are exactly like YouTube. I just don't see them ever enforcing it. But I know you can't say the F word in the chat, and I thought that was quite interesting. You can say the F word on Odyssey. You can say the F word on Twitch, actually. You can't say it. You can't say it on Rumble. 10-man, no censorship here. That's why I'm here. Yeah, I appreciate you being on the website. Don Sparks, I still get censored without cussing. Me too. Me too. I'll go most of the live, and I try not to swear. I try to be as professional as I can. I like to make the news funny because it's better to laugh than to cry. And I still get censored on stuff, and it's just, I don't know. Gotta walk a real tight line here. This next video we're going to cover is titled Mark Somebody. Talking about woke programs in the military, praising the GOP NDAA amendments to cut all the woke stuff. And this guy's like speaking our language, and they say something, and I don't know how we're going to get through this. I hope to God that everything's okay. But they're going to make it so military members who left because of mandated things, they're going to have a way to come back now. That's what this is about. It's not just that. It's not limited to that. But that's the only time I've ever heard of them paving a way for military members who didn't want to get the jab, who left because of that. And I think they were dishonorably discharged when that happened. They're going to have a way to come back now. And I remember back then people were saying that. They were like, what about the nurses? What about the military? What about the people who are being told they have to do this, which is unconstitutional, and they're leaving now? What's going to happen? Is there going to be lawsuits or what? And they're talking about this. They're talking about letting these guys come back. And so I'm really interested into that. Hopefully this doesn't cause issues. If you don't see me on Monday, it's because this got me. Hopefully it's fine though. They don't have a blue banner under this video. Who's running this? Forbes is running this. Oh, they're whitelisted. They're probably allowed to say this stuff. I'm not allowed to. We're going to see. We're going to see. Go join Gilded. Okay, I'm going to drop the link tree right here just in case this X's me out. I'm going to drop the link tree. I want you to go get Gilded. Download it on your phone. It's free. Join up with us. You'll be connected. That way you'll know. You'll know if this came out and got me. Because if YouTube came and bit me, you'll know. And then you'll also know when we're going live on all the other platforms that we're on. So here's the link tree. Go join Gilded right now. All right, we're going to get this started.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I appreciate that. Good to see everyone. My name is Mark Alford, and I am from the 4th Congressional District of the great state of Missouri, not just Fort Leonard Wood, but also Whiteman Air Force Base, home to the B-2 stealth bomber and soon to be home to the new B-21 bomber. I tell you what, folks, we are at a critical time in our nation's history right now, and that's what this NDAA is all about. It is taking on the threat, the pacing threat from communist China. With China on the rise, military recruitment is at an all-time low in our nation. Public confidence in our military is weakening, and we face significant challenges that we must overcome. Right now, only 9% of our nation's young people have any interest in joining the military. That's sad. We have got to restore patriotism and confidence in our military. And the woke programs that have been indoctrinated and infiltrated our military has got to go. And the NDAA is going to get rid of a lot of these. We're going to gut a lot of these programs. We're banning teaching critical race theory. We are banning the drag queen shows on military bases. You've heard about this. Members, through approval from the armed services, have gone on with their drag queen performances and trying to recruit members through a digital ambassador program. We are making sure that that does not happen anymore. We are defunding our counter-extremism working groups. We're eliminating the chief diversity officer, and gutting the DEI workforce. We're also establishing a Parents' Bill of Rights so that parents can review materials taught in DoD schools. And we're providing a path back for those who left the military because they would not take the mandated COVID vaccine. We've got to make things right, and I'm most proud that we are giving the military a raise of 5.2%. It is long overdue. We've got to restore confidence in our military, and the NDAA is the path forward to do that. Thank you, and I'd like to bring up now our whip, Tom Emmer.
Well, it sounds good. Hopefully they actually make the improvements that are necessary. And like I said at the very beginning, this has got to be because of the lack of recruitment. They're having so much trouble trying to recruit new people because nobody wants to be a part of the nonsense. The only people who willingly join the military want to serve the country. That's it. Nobody else wants to go. If you've ever spoke to anyone who's ever served, they'll tell you not to go. There's been so many times I've talked to people and like, I've thought about enlisting or whatever. They're like, don't do it. If you value having your knees and stuff like that, don't go do it. And the only people I see that do it come from families that do it, lineage. Your grandpa's served and all that kind of stuff. And I'm glad that people serve, and I respect people who go through all of the things that you have to go through to serve the country and protect all of us and our freedoms. I appreciate it, everyone that serves. But it's really hard to sell everyone on that. it's hard to tell me, oh yeah, go, join us in the fight for freedom, blah blah. Meanwhile, you got some dude out there dancing on stage with a wig on and all covered in glitter, and I don't want that. No. I don't want no part of that. So hopefully they fix those things and people can be proud to enlist again and go do that stuff. And then on top of that, those military personnel that left because of the mandates, I've seen someone say they should get back pay. I think so too. I think they should too. Because it's unconstitutional what happened to them. And I seen someone else say that it was general discharge, not dishonorable discharge. The reason I thought it was considered dishonorable discharge is because they were considering it like insubordination. You were given an order to go do something and you're refusing to do it. And soldiers are only good if they take orders. So you're getting discharged. So that's the only reason I thought it was dishonorable discharge. But either way, it's wrong, right? That's the bottom line. It's wrong. You mandate them to put stuff in their body that they don't want. And, well, we saw what happened. So it's obviously affecting them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be trying to make these changes. So hopefully we survive this. I felt it was important that everybody saw that they're trying to make a change. They're trying to make things right after it's been wrong for so long. Hopefully we get past all of this. Talking about the jabby jab. Crab Nebula agreed, don't do it unless you can graduate from West Point. Isn't West Point out in California? I had a buddy who was from Samoa, and he got sponsored to come here and went right into, I don't know if it was West Point, but it was somewhere in California that you can't even get into unless you got like a letter of recommendation from a governor. And he got in. It's like there's news articles and stuff about it. He got the training, and then he went to, I think he went, I can't remember if he went to Afghanistan or he went to Iraq, but he went somewhere and he was there for like 5 years, something like that, as a captain. I think he was in charge of a team, and they went and arrested terrorists and stuff like that. He said they'd go into a house and there'd be people chopping the hands off of children and all kinds of crazy stuff like that, and they'd either have to take them out or they'd have to detain them, talking about how they would shoot down planes that were being tracked by cell phones because those goofy terrorists would stick the phone inside themselves thinking that was going to block the radio signal, and so they would just check it on the GPS. They'd be like, yeah, it's that one, and they'd just shoot it out of the sky. And then he'd say, like, he's like, we had to retrieve the phone. I'm like, oh yeah? And they're like, yeah, you ever taken a half of a person and then have to stick your hand up in them to go find the phone? They're like, that's a lot of fun. That's why I always made the lower ranks do it. I'm like, I don't want no part of that. I don't want no part of that. That's rough stuff. But he served and he's out now. I think he went to West Point. Oh, West Point's in New York? No, what I'm thinking of is in California for sure. I can't think of what it's called. He was all proud of himself for going. I guess it was a big deal. I don't know much about it. My family doesn't serve or anything like that. Well, my grandpa did. My great-grandpa did. But my mom and dad, nah. My mom got her education in jail. So, I mean, if that tells you anything. She graduated from County Correctional Facility. What's up, Angel Heart? Happy freedom. Yeah, I can't think of the one that's out in California. Hey, I appreciate you, Jim. Thanks for being on Twitch. Appreciate you joining on Rumble. You're awesome. Yeah, being on all these, on the alternative platforms, you're going to see more than what's on YouTube. It's not my preference. I want to show everything to everyone, but, you know, I got to follow the community guidelines. Moose Girl Camp Pendleton? No, it's a big place. Let me see if I can find it really quick. I wish I could remember how to spell his last name. Oh, I can't believe I can't think of what it's called. I want to say it's an academy. That's the only thing I don't like about the Brave browser is they show you everything. They don't focus on what you're looking for. And I know the only reason that Google can do that is because they have all of your information already. So they can guess about what you're trying to talk about. I can't remember what it is. Something out in California. It's some big school, I guess. I mean, he went there. I think he did his boot camp there. But he like went there, went to school, got out, captain. Like he didn't start as a lower rank. He started at captain because of the school he went to. But I can't remember what it's called. It wasn't the California Military Academy. It was called something. It had a name, but it wasn't Pendleton. It was something else. It was called West something. Either way. I don't know. Tim, he was in the Army. I don't remember what it's called. Either way. And we're not friends anymore, so I can't ask him. It's fine. Whatever's whatever. Patty, I didn't pay much attention until Trump was running for office. I didn't pay attention to politics until they started burning stuff down. That was when I started paying attention to politics. Like, I literally don't know anything about politics prior to like 2-3 years ago. It could be West Point. If I could remember how to spell his last name, I could type it in. Because there's multiple newspaper articles about it. About him either graduating or joining or something like that. Could be West Point. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna look for it anymore. But I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So we're gonna move on to this next video titled "The Democrat Establishment Has Had Enough of Old Man Walter." We're not gonna watch this whole video, we're just gonna watch a section of it. It's pretty much just a highlight reel of old man Walter looking like a buffoon. We kind of had one of those yesterday. These are all different clips though. Trying to think here. Use my brain. Alright. Let's get her started.
Often looks like he doesn't know who or where he is at any given moment. Gaffes, literal physical falls, and other embarrassing moments have plagued Joe Biden.
More than half of the women in my administration are women.
the strength of the dollar right now.
All pretty tough.
Oh man, Walter. I can't believe. See, and I got to be delicate how I say this because they just made new community guidelines on talking about age of people running for the primary office. He's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. It's going to be this and worse from here on out. I don't even know. I feel like anybody that supports this guy just loves living in squalor. I can't stand seeing people who are like, oh, he's doing great things. Where? He doesn't even treat his underwear correctly. So, like, what are you talking about? Old man, crap your pants. Like, he's not doing great things for anybody. Look at the Secret Service. Every time you see the Secret Service, they look like disgruntled babysitters. They're like, I did all this training for this. Like, nobody's happy that he's doing the things that he's doing. And the people that say they are have no idea what's going on. They probably come from a lineage of blue team. Like, almost everyone in my family, as far as I know, is blue team. I know that probably blows your marbles back. This is why I don't talk to my family. No, it's not the reason why, but they're all blue team. It's just been that way forever. And without actually looking into politics and paying attention to what's going on, you just kind of go, well, who'd you vote for? Well, I went blue team. Well, I'll go blue team too. You know, it's like when you go to the buffet with your friends. You know, you find some things you like, but then after a while you're just like, well, what do you got? Well, that looks good. I'll just get what you're getting. Because I don't want to have to take the time to look around, figure stuff out, decide if I want to make decisions or not. I know you. I trust you. You made this choice. I'm going to choose the same thing. That's just how we are as Americans. And so lots of my family is all blue team because they don't know any different. And they also live in poor areas and they have a poor mindset. Not everyone in my family, but a lot of people. And, you know, they're always blaming somebody else for their problems and stuff like that. And they just don't know any different. So if you ask them, you know, what if we do another year of this guy or another round of this guy? They'll be like, well, whatever's whatever. Because all their problems are someone else's problems anyways. So it's not like they're going to choose blue team. Blue team's going to wreck their life and they're going to go, this is my fault. They're not going to do that. There's not a day on earth they'll do that. No accountability. It's always somebody else's fault why their life sucks, which is why they justify cutting corners, lying, cheating, stealing, and getting one over on somebody else. As well, you know, my life's hard because everyone else is hard on me and everyone mistreats me. So if I get an opportunity to mistreat you, well, this is just life coming around to you. This is why people believe in karma and things like that. And it's that poor mindset that we talk about pretty frequently. Can't have that poor mindset. Poor me. Somebody else did it. No, you gotta grab the reins. You gotta run your own life. And most of the time people are running their own life right into the ground and they're still blaming someone else. Very few people are being mistreated by others. It's more kids than anything else. And look, no one's sticking up for them, which is very unfortunate. Let's see. I wonder if I could. No, I can't. Dang it. I was going to say, I got my car back, which I'll talk about that in a second. And I was like, maybe I can go see the Sound of Freedom. We got this Trump rally coming up. I don't have enough time. If I went and seen it, I wouldn't be able to cover the Trump rally. Maybe I'll be able to see it tomorrow. We'll see. So I did get my car back yesterday. I did make it to the shop in time. It was a long walk and it was very hot, but I didn't die. I did wear a hat, so the sun didn't kill me on the spot. Didn't want to die in the street. Made it. They did not charge me. They said that they put faulty spark plugs in unintentionally when they serviced my car a couple weeks ago. And they just used the warranty to replace all the spark plugs. And they were like, it's probably good. Let us know if you have any problems. As soon as I started the car, it started chugging and stuttering and seeming unpredictable, idling all over the place. But once I let it sit for a while, it straightened out. I drove to Ludington, which is like an hour away or something like that, to go get groceries from Walmart. And it did fine on the freeway. And then when I started it up, kind of stuttered for a second, then straightened out and drove the whole way back and was fine. But I don't know. At this point, I have a hard time trusting the car. I feel like I'm never going to know what's wrong with it. They claim that was the reason why I was getting the catalytic converter codes. They claim that's why it was chugging. That's why I was saying that cylinder 3 and cylinder 2 were misfiring, is because of the spark plugs. But I'm still getting chugging and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I don't have any other mechanics to try. I don't have any money to figure it out. I'm just going to have to run it until I'm stranded on the road, and we'll figure it out when we figure it out. I don't know what else to do about it. It's just one of those things. And I'm not really surprised. Same thing happens when I go to the doctor. Go to the doctor, here's all my symptoms. They poke me and prod me, and then they go, we don't know what's wrong with you. You owe us $7,000. And then I go, okay. And so I'm just defeated. When it comes to the car, I am exhausted and defeated. I've taken it to the shop 4 or 5 times, like, to figure out why the catalytic converter light's on. We had the catalytic converter, both of them replaced. We've serviced the vehicle. We've done all kinds of stuff. I'm just defeated at this point. I don't know what to do. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Melissa, boycott Walmart and Amazon. Stop funding the CCP war machine. Yeah, that's true. It's just a lot of small businesses are gone because of Walmart and stuff like that. And so a lot of places there is no alternative. There's just nothing. And you buy stuff from eBay, you get scammed. You buy stuff from other stores, a lot of the stuff you're buying, like online stores, is being drop shipped from China. It's very difficult to buy things that are like made here and get it here. You can find companies that say made in America and stuff like that, manufacturers and stuff, but then you're going to wait 2 weeks to get it in the mail. You're going to pay top dollar for it because they don't have a distributor like Walmart to sell it to you. It's very difficult. It is very difficult to try and get around Walmart and Amazon. I try not to buy anything from Amazon because everything I buy from Amazon just seems to get broken all the time. Like, I don't know why. I order all kinds of stuff, and it's like I get it and it's broken. It either shows up broken or it breaks that day, and I'm like, I don't know. I just had a ring light take a crap on me because the background, if it's not like well lit, then all of this doesn't work correctly. It gets all goofy. Look. Yeah, see? So it's got to be well lit. Well, I paid $45 for a ring light, and it lasted a month or something like that. Kicked the bucket, no reason, just gone. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Shepherd Shep, I feel you. I just bought a truck, put $1,300 into it. Whole front end. Best thing is to teach yourself how to do things you can without special equipment. Yeah, I'm just not allowed to work on my car here at the apartments. If I get caught out there with the hood up and I'm like checking it and stuff, I'll get an eviction notice. They've already done it to me. Not allowed to work on your car here. Something about liability or something like that. I always gotta lie about it. They're like, what are you doing? Nosy crackhead neighbors and stuff come out, see me looking under the hood. They're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And either I have to let them help me troubleshoot what's wrong with my car, so then we're both accomplices in breaking the rules, or I have to lie to them and go, oh, I was hearing a weird sound. I was making sure there wasn't a cat inside my hood. And they go, oh, has that happened before? I'm like, yeah, I just didn't want it to happen again. They're like, oh, and then I have to close the hood and go somewhere else and work on my car because they think I'm working on my car. They'll call in on me, get me taken out. When I had dreadlocks, somebody had called. They were like, I think he's smoking weed. Look at his hair. The manager called me and they were like, are you smoking weed in your apartment? I was like, no. And they were like, well, we called the police and we were going to have the building swept by K9. But we wanted to talk to you first. And I was like, well, you can do that if you want to, but you're just digging your own hole there. And they were like, nah, but if we smell weed, we're sending the K9 into the hallways. I'm like, you do whatever you feel you need to do, crazy. I'll stay in my cell and keep paying you $600-700 a month. And you guys stay on that side of the door if you want to keep breathing. I don't know. 'Tis what it is. Nebula. You have DNA like me, modern medicine doesn't apply. Pretty much. I'm something else. Something new. They haven't figured it out yet, and Google hasn't identified me. Vote Justin out. Marry a Canadian, Jeff. You'll never have to go you'll never have hospital bills again. No, I tried that once. I tried that once. I can't do that. That border is strong. I'm not allowed to go to Canada. They won't let me there because I have a disorderly charge. Here, it's like a $500 ticket, 90 days in jail. In Canada, it's a 10-year felony. And so because of that, I'm never allowed to go to Canada. Can't cross the invisible line until some things change. It's too bad. I'd like to go check it out. I know everybody gets all mad. They're like, there isn't shit in Canada, blah, blah. I'd like to check out Canada. Even more so now that I know I can't go there. Being detained at the border was fun. I didn't know that my back door was like being threatened at the time. It didn't happen to me, but ever since I've had that incident happen, I'm always like, oh yeah, I got detained at the border, and they're like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, did they touch you? No, I sat in a cold ass concrete room for like 4 hours while they read my background to me and told me and explained to me why I'm not allowed to cross the invisible line up north. Canada to me is just northern Michigan. I don't know any different. It's just northern Michigan. There's Michigan, the UP, northern Michigan, and it's huge and it's connected to Alaska. That's all I know. But no, they were like, nah, you can't cross that invisible line. You're not allowed to. And if you ever attempt to again, we'll arrest you. And I'm like, okay. And I told people that, and they're like, well, when I went, they touched me. And I'm like, oh, well, no. I didn't get any pleasantries like that. They didn't offer me dinner or any kind of festivities. I just sat in a cold room. So I don't know. Maybe I wasn't pretty enough, but yeah. Spirit matter. Try to imagine JeffMAC with dreads now. You can't, because it's this right here. It's just, I'm too aerodynamic for dreads now. It's funny that a lot of people who haven't seen me with dreads. Let me see. I'll pull up cat audio. This is good for cat audio. I never really talk about it because I never got my microphone fixed. But we are not sponsored. We're endorsed by Cat Audio. And we even have our own page over there on their website. There's me. This is what I look like when I first started live streaming. And Cat Audio sent me one of their best studio mics and let me know that we're endorsed. And yeah, they made a page and all this stuff. There's a little bio right here and whatnot. See? Visit JeffMac's YouTube videos. We're the real deal over at Cat Audio. But that's what I looked like when I first got dreads. Yep. Lots has changed since then. What's up, Deep South Jody? Happy freedom. That's so funny that you guys, there's so many people that never seen me with dreads. That's hilarious. Did I have dreads for the J6 stuff? I won't be able to play it because YouTube's still on the line here. Let me see. I'll go to the website because I posted our J6 videos directly onto the website. They're embedded. Yeah. Yeah, I had dreads. Let me see. Yeah, you see me? Which way is it? This way. Boom. There I am. Dreadlocks. That's where they're down. Those are, I cut them to be shoulder length because they were getting too long. And then this is how the day started. And I got them all pulled back. See me sitting in my little house. Going down memory lane here. I remember. Did we have dreads for Kyle? Yeah? Yeah, I think we did. Can't show that either. If YouTube finds out that we got that video on there, I'd be getting hit. Spirit Matter, glad you got rid of the nose ring that everyone has. No one had it when I had it. I got it, then everybody else got it. I'm trying to think. It was causing me some sort of problems. I think I had torn the septum piercing. I think I was sleeping or something and I had torn it, and then it was like getting infected and it was causing problems, so I took it out. But it was locked, so I had to take pliers and rip it out of my nose. Snooks, I kept watching because of your dreads and nose ring. I thought you were hot. See, and that's why we had more people coming in than we do now. It's because now I look like every other white person. And so I'm not as eye-catching as I used to be. Which is why I'm saying, like, eventually I want to be completely tattooed. I'm not allowed to do my face. Everyone close to me says not to do my face. But eventually I want to be totally covered. I have everything planned out. I just don't have the money or the time to go do it. But the next time I get tatted, it'll most likely be, like, around my neck or my arms or something. That way, while I'm live, people are like, who is this crackhead? Let me go in there and talk shit to him. And then they get here and realize I know more than they do. And then they just stay. And they hang out. And they want to be a hooligan like the rest of us. And that way they're all up to speed. We're all front lines of the news right now. But until then, I just look like every other white person, and people are like, I don't want to watch that. And that's why we have a hard time bringing people in right now. Tis what tis. Alfred, Flint, Michigan, watching you since 2020. I appreciate you being here, Alfred. Thank you for sticking with us. You're awesome. Stephanie, sweetest boy ever. I try. Dabacles used to be a shirtless guy with dreads, showing us the mostly peaceful violence. I don't know if I could find a shirtless one. Maybe. This is supposed to be the news, and we turned it into memory lane, but that's okay. I'm cool with it. We'll see if I can find it really quick. Let me see. Got to go through the studio. We got a lot of lives. Where are we at right now? 1,900 live streams that we've done. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's why I keep saying, like, I wish that I could take all the old stuff and cut it into shorts and stuff like that so people could consume it. Because they don't realize how long we've been here. They don't, like, people don't realize how much I've devoted to doing this. 1,900 live streams. That's a lot. Like, that is a lot. People show up and they're like, you don't know. I know. I've been here every day for the last 3+ years. May 31st was my 3-year mark. Right now I'm looking to see if I can find a shirtless live. I won't be able to play it. You'll just be able to see my sexy shoulders. I think the rule back then, if I can remember correctly, was just don't show any nipple and I'll be good. So it was like everything but that. If you're on a phone, you can't even go back far enough to see the protests. The only way to see those videos is to be on a computer. This stuff is cracking me up. This stuff is really cracking me up. Let me see if I can find it. I don't even think I went full screen back then. This is for Derek Chauvin trial. Look at, oh, you can't even see it because I'm in the way. Hold on. There. That's what I looked like near the end there, right before I cut my dreads. This is actually before I had a huge, like, mental breakdown. We did the Derek Chauvin trial thing, and then I didn't go live for like 3 weeks because I was wrecked. I was wrecked. Just a moment. I'm trying to find some of this toplessness. It's not as graphic as it sounds. It's just hilarious because most people would show up to yell at me about it. They'd be like, I came in here to tell you to put a shirt on. While there's like screaming and fire going on in the background and people yelling chants and protesting nonsense. Yes, you worry about me wearing a t-shirt. Well, I think we're in the territory. Well, like, this video has 250,000 views, so I'm probably shirtless in this one. Just seeing this image is a lot for me. I bet I'm shirtless in this. I'm not on the screen at this current moment, but look at all these individuals. We used to watch this every day. Every day we'd be sitting here watching this. Now hold on a second, because I don't know if there's any firearms or anything. We're not allowed to show that stuff anymore. Oh, look at this guy. This guy right here. Antifa live streamer being praised by Elon Musk and everybody else on Twitter. This guy has got 500,000 followers now, but nobody knows that he's Antifa. That stuff blows my marbles back. When I see people praising him, they're like, he gets the best footage. Yeah, of his comrades. Those are his comrades out there. Of course he knows to get the footage. His buddies are the ones out there doing it. It drives me nuts when I see people praising him. That's the guy that threatened to, I don't know, give me trouble over showing his clips, which is why we don't show it anymore. So if you could look in the corner here, wham. Showing off them shoulders. Got the dreadlocks swinging. Sweating. It's hot in the summer. I got heat intolerance. I can't handle it. I'm just not able to. Let me see. I think that's the most you can be able to see, though. They ain't getting no more goods than that. That's all we got. That was it. Every day, sitting there with just the shoulders out. Bringing them in. I look like a whole different person now. I look like a whole different person now. You wouldn't even know that was me. That's why I keep those dreadlocks, just in case. Just in case. I got to skedaddle. I put them in my to-go bag. I just put them on, put a hat on. They're going to be like, oh, who's that? But I don't know. Don't know. The Rosa Farmer tan? No, it's a permatan. Oh, you can't tell, but I still got it. Like this stripe right here. You'll never see me wearing tank tops. It's a permatan. It's from running the streets in tank tops the whole time I was a teenager. That tan is permanent. I should just get it tattooed. It'll always be that way. MD Cyron, we'd go in his chat and he'd be big mad. Yeah, now he's a big deal. He's on Fox News and all that stuff. Everybody thinks he's really great. Good for him. Maybe he'll change. Maybe he won't be a BLMer anymore. He won't be a part of Antifa. Dharma Age, I remember when we could see Jeff's walls. Yeah. People were trying to pinpoint where I was living. And so I stopped doing that. Sly Dog, get a Rasta hat with dreads. Yeah. Sam, we're just one of the millions. Yeah. So much footage. If you guys get an opportunity and you have a computer, go dig in the channel. Go to those old videos. You got to go all the way back to the beginning because I never went live. My very first live was showing riots. So you got to go all the way back. This stuff is crazy. It still makes me want to like it makes me upset to go back and watch this video. I try not to because one, it makes me upset that stuff even happened, that people were being brainwashed and protesting and screaming till their voice was cracking. It was very regular to hear the camera person or people around the camera person with like a frog voice because they've been in the streets screaming 20 hours out of the last 2 days, and they weren't burning stuff down yet. They felt wronged. And it was sad and hard to hear Americans crying out like that at the time because it wasn't all Antifa and burning and stuff. It wasn't like that then. You were just seeing disgruntled Americans to the point where they were like screaming and crying in the streets. And it was like sad. It was sad to hear so many people doing it, especially when they were having high schoolers do it. They'd go lay down on their face with their hands behind their back and scream, I can't breathe and stuff. And it was like crazy to take on. And it was before everything turned into victimhood like that. And so it was difficult to watch, but now I have a bitterness because the government doesn't acknowledge that any of that even happened. They just act like J6 was it. The plague happened, J6 happened, and to hell with anybody that wears a red hat or believes in the Orange Eagle. That's all it is now. They act like none of that stuff happened. There was no fire at the White House. They weren't pulling down statues. They weren't graffitiing everything. They didn't burn the church down. They didn't paint the roads. They didn't go and mess with the Lincoln Memorial and all that. They act like none of that stuff happened. Like, that's the whole reason there's fences there now. That's the whole reason why National Guard was deployed into D.C. in the first place. And they don't talk about that. They act like that stuff did not happen. So now it makes me bitter to watch it, because it goes from being sad to see Americans being so hurt by what was going on to watching them burn everything down, descending into darkness till there was nothing but Antifa left. All the real protesters went home who believed that there should have been a police reform and all this other stuff. Trump did some stuff, fixed most people's problems, or at least what they were asking for. Protesters went home, Antifa stayed, and they become militant. And then it turned into bad stuff, and no one ever did anything to those people. They let them go out there and do that and hurt those people and kill those people and burn all that crap down, and no one ever did anything, and now the government acts like it never happened. And all the stupid people who didn't witness it firsthand because they weren't sitting here with us when we were covering it, they also act like that stuff didn't happen. And when they do acknowledge it, they claim it was justified. And that's wrong. That's wrong. If we were to go out there and burn someone's business down today, or rip someone out of a car at gunpoint, or take over a 3-block area and consider it ours as an autonomous zone, they'd call the military in, they'd shoot us in the street, and then they'd tell us we were all white supreme pizzas. They would never, ever let that happen again. Not with the way things are now. I feel like things are the way they are now because of that happening, and nobody talks about it. It's J6 or nothing. That's all they talk about. They put all the weight on the J6ers. Moose Girl, right, they're hypocrites. They are. It's messed up. It's messed up. Anyways, we're going to watch something that's kind of funny, lighten the mood a little bit here. This is the last one that we're covering today. This is all the coffee we have today. It's titled, "Shoulda Called an Uber. Deputy Smashes into a Drunk Driver." Hopefully we get away with this. We should. I got the warning in the description. It's somewhat graphic, but it's more like, what an idiot. It's one of those moments, like a facepalm moment. All right, let's get her started. Rough.
I'm Sergeant Cindy with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. Last night, Deputy Schiebner was driving his Tahoe northbound on alternate 19, approaching Cedar Street in Dunedin, when a Honda Accord pulled up directly in front of him. Deputy Schiebner was unable to stop in time and struck the driver's side front door of the Accord. The driver, Edward Parsons, was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Deputy Schiebner sustained minor injuries. Parsons showed signs of impairment and a DUI investigation began. He was arrested and charged with DUI involving property damage and was transported to the Pinellas County Jail.
Out of all the cars you could have pulled out right in front of a deputy, and then the deputy hits you, and you're drunk driving. It'd have been one thing if you're just dumb and blonde or whatever, and you pull out in front of somebody, you weren't paying attention, get hit. That's one thing. Have it be a cop you hit, that's another. Be drunk driving while you're doing it, you win. You win. When I saw that at first, I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to show this. There's no way that person survived. And then they did, and they didn't even have life-threatening injuries. You wouldn't think so with the neck brace on. You'd be like, no, that seems pretty significant. But according to what they're saying, he didn't really sustain that bad of an injury. So it was so non-life-threatening that they took him to jail. They're like, yeah, get the neck brace on. We're pulling his oranges out of the back. We're about to book him anyways. He'll be good. Rip curl. Hey, I appreciate you sticking with it so long, Rip Curl. You're awesome. Leonardo, believe it or not, straight to jail. Yeah, the guy. It's not smart to drink and drive. It's not. And I understand you got to make it home somehow. But that's how you kill yourself or you kill someone else. Kids get killed in car accidents because of drunk drivers and stuff. Luckily, that guy had a cop stop him before he got too far down the road. That's what a story to tell everybody in jail. And that would suck because, you're going to wake up hungover or whatever. You're going to wake up not feeling good because you've been drinking. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I totaled my car against a cop car and I can't even go deal with it because I'm in jail. So you got drunk driving to deal with. Your car's trashed and probably impounded. Got to deal with that. You're racking up charges because you're in jail and it's like $65 a day for every day you're in jail to pay for the cost of living. It's racking up bills. Waking up to that, that's why you gotta make good choices. Lone Wolf neck brace was lawyer's idea for the photo. Probably. I don't know. He's a little bit too light-skinned to be out there asking for reparations. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work out in this situation. I don't think he's getting off the hook. It depends. If he's got multiple drunk drivings, he's probably done for. He's probably going to lose his license for good. Wayward Sons, was your riot watch the first streams you did? Yeah. I had no intentions of ever making video content ever. My old goal, like growing up, was to make music, and I was going to use YouTube for people to witness my music, and that was it. Like, that was it. That's why if you go to the old stuff, like the old videos and stuff, you'll see like music videos or still images with music in the background, because that's all my YouTube was. And then one day there was a riot 2 hours from me, and I didn't know what to do. I was like scrolling on Facebook and came across it, and I was like, wow, this is live. And they were like, yeah, we're downtown Grand Rapids. And I was like, you're in Grand Rapids? Like in Michigan? Like in America? And then they were like, the cop car is on fire. And he turns the camera and you see the cop car and 5-foot flames out of it. And I was like, wow, how do I keep this? I couldn't download it because it was live. So I looked online and it was like, do all these steps, play it on live, and you can record it. I didn't have a way to screen record back in the day. Thank God, because I wouldn't be where I am today. We wouldn't be doing this if I had a screen recorder. I would have just screen recorded it. It would have saved it in my phone and been like, wow, there was a riot yesterday. But I didn't have another way to do it. So I was just like, okay, I guess we're going to be live. And I wasn't on the screen. I just played it. And 400 people showed up. And they were like, are you going to be live tomorrow? And I was like, I guess. I guess if I should be. And then there was another riot, and then another riot, and then another riot. For like a whole year, there was riots, and it was like, this is all we're doing. That we're going live and we're covering riots. I don't know what else to do. And I was going to work, and people were like, you're crazy. Why are you doing that? And I'm like, what do you mean? People want to watch it, and so I'm showing it, and so we're all watching it together. And then eventually it got to a point where nobody knew what I was talking about. I was at work, and I was like, yeah, it was a crazy riot last night, blah, blah. And they're like, where? I was like, oh, in this city. And they're like, in America? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I didn't see that. And I was like, it's not on the news? And they're like, no. And I didn't watch the news, so I didn't know. I didn't know we were the only ones watching it. I didn't know. I figured everybody was watching it. And then eventually I found out that we were it. It was us and woke.net, and that was it. There was no one else showing it. And then we got all the stragglers that you see, the people that they call restreamers and stuff. That wasn't a thing until after I was already here. And now most of those people are gone, and we're still here. And it's the pursuit of information. That's what's got us here, is the pursuit of knowing what's going on around us. And people used to hate me for that. They're like, you support the protesters, that's why you show them. I'm like, I bet if this was your street they're on right now and they're burning everybody's house down, you'd want a heads up. You'd want to know that these people are on your street and they're burning houses down. You'd want to know. So don't tell me I'm supporting what's bad around here. I'm raising awareness. And people would get so bent out of shape for it. No. We're here to know what's going on. More than 3 years later, and we're still here, hungry, wanting to know what's going on. We are the news. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Well, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Supposed to be having the Orange Eagle. He's usually a little bit late. We'll see how it goes. But about 6:45-ish. Expect us to be going live. Join Gilded. We'll do the spiel deal here in a second. I'll drop the link right now. But make sure you guys join Gilded. That way you'll get the notification for when we go live. We'll be live on Twitch, Kick, Rumble, Odyssey, jeffmaclive.com, and Twitter. If you want to come watch the Orange Eagle with us. And then we should be gaming later on today. We didn't game yesterday because it took me so long to get groceries and get back. We'll see how it goes today. It depends how long Orange Eagle talks. Because sometimes he'll go on for 3 hours, and I don't want to start gaming at like 11 o'clock at night, because then I won't be done till 1. And I don't know. My whole life runs off a schedule. I'd like to eat today. I'd like to take a shower. So I got to leave a little time for that. We'll see how the gaming stuff goes, but we will absolutely be showing the Orange Eagle around 6:45-ish. As soon as he gets on stage, we'll kick over the live. We'll be live everywhere that I just spoke of. Let's see here. I just dropped the link for you guys. Please go to the link tree. All of my links are listed on the link tree. I want you to scroll down and go find Gilded. I'll show you just in case. Right here it says join Gilded. Go ahead and click that button. If you join Gilded, Gilded is free and currently the best way to receive notifications for when and where we go live. Every time we go live, there's a news board on Gilded to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. There's a ton of hooligans in there chatting around the clock for you to go hang out with. So definitely go join Gilded. Also on the link tree, you can find links for the merch store if you'd like to grab some merch. We have shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs, and a bunch of other items. Everything is displayed in black and white or white and black, but if you find something you like, just click on that item to see all the different colors that the item comes in. You can also find links for PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Stripe, Zelle, Buy Me a Coffee, and Locals if you would like to help support what I do. There's also a link to the Amazon wish list if you would like to send me stuff. It's really easy to use. Anything you purchase directly from the wish list will be sent straight to me without having to send emails, find addresses, or keep track of tracking numbers. You don't have to do any of that. It's really simple to use. And then finally, we have links to join the membership programs. Oh, somewhere right there. If you would like to do so, we have membership programs for YouTube, Gilded, Discord, Odyssey, Rumble, and Twitch. Then see, there's JeffMAC Gaming. You want to go join up JeffMAC Gaming if you want to come hang out and play the game with us. But at the very top of the link tree there, you can claim a free week membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's a free week. There's no strings attached. It's just for you to go see all the cool stuff that we're doing over there. With a membership, you'll have access to your own profile for our private social media area. You'll have access to our group chat rooms and group pages. You'll have access to our live streaming area with the built-in chat. And you'll have access to our advanced messaging system with the ability to text, call, video call, group text, group call, group video call, and the ability to upload all forms of digital media, so MP3s, MP4s, slideshows, digital documents, anything and everything. You can upload it through the chat, or you can put it right on your profile. You can network with hooligans. You can promote your business. All that good stuff can be done over on jeffmaclive.com. It is the home of the hooligans, so go join up right now. Now I got ringing in my ear. Somebody's talking crap about me. That's what we always said in school. If you get ringing in your ears, somebody's talking about you. Something's going on. All right, hooligans, it is that time again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. I'm going to read through the chat really quick, and then we're going to wrap things up. Once again, 6:45 p.m.-ish Eastern time, we will be live with the Orange Eagle. We're going to be showing Trump. He is speaking live at Turning Point Action Conference in West Palm Beach, Florida. So we'll be covering that. When he gets on stage, I'm not going to just go live at 6:45. He could be 15 minutes late. He could be a half hour late. What are we going to do until then? We're going to hear the Right Side Broadcasting reporter say the same thing over and over again. So I like to wait till he's stepping on stage, but we'll be live everywhere except for YouTube because of their community guidelines. So make sure you're part of Gilded, or at least have subscriptions, or not subscription, the alerts on for Rumble or Odyssey or any of those platforms. That way you know when we kick off the live, right when the Orange Eagle steps on stage. I appreciate all of you guys being here. I'm going to read through the chat really quick, make sure everybody's doing good before we wrap things up. Yeah, that'd be cool. Rip Curl out in Medford. We could work something out. It'd be awesome to go to the range. Oh, man. Out in Oregon? No, that's no way. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'd like to go out to the West Coast and go see all the things that I only see on the live. One day I'll be out there. It'd be awesome to link up, go shooting and stuff. Seppa, speaking about gaming, is there a stream group? Yes, if you go to the link tree, scroll to the bottom, you'll see JeffMAC Gaming. That's the YouTube channel. Right now we have a Discord but I think we're going to move everything to Gilded. Discord sucks. And we left Discord because of the censorship, and I was like, well, I don't have to worry about censorship for the gaming, so I started a Discord for the gaming specifically, but it sucks. All their bots, they want money and all this stuff, so I can't even send you notifications unless I do it by hand while I'm already setting up a live. So I think we're going to end up moving everything to Gilded, because Gilded has all the notification and bots and all that stuff. That's all built in. So right now you could sign up for JeffMAC Gaming over on a YouTube channel, subscribe to them, turn the alerts on if you would like. You can join the Discord, but eventually I'm going to drop an invitation link into the Discord to take you to a gaming Gilded, because Discord sucks. They should just go bankrupt. They suck. They got censorship and they want your money over every little thing, and it's just not worth it. I can't even put emojis in the titles for the channels anymore, so it all blends together now. It's just, I don't know. Discord sucks. Gilded is way better. Seppa, the Riot Man. Yeah, there's been a few hooligans refer to me as the Riot Whisperer. One day we'll probably have riots again. I believe it. Still got pissy people. Appreciate you being here, Sam. Vote Justin out? Yeah, I'm in Michigan. Yep, I'm in Michigan. I'm a Michigander hooligander. All day. Trigger Crazy, I'll sponsor Jeff to come to Canada. Yeah, that's the only way I'll be able to go, is if Trigger Crazy sponsors me. That's the only way. Hopefully we'll be able to avoid all the other stuff. It'll be a secret, and then one day we'll just be in Canada. We'll just go live and I'll be in Canada, and everybody's gonna be like, what the hell? It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. All right, looks like everybody's good to go. You guys have a good afternoon. I will see you about 6:45-ish p.m. over on the non-YouTube platforms. We're going to be covering the Orange Eagle live. Hopefully I see all of you guys there. I will keep you guys up to date with what's going on with the gaming thing. A lot of that really depends on the Orange Eagle and how long that event takes. And then tomorrow is Sunday, so tomorrow's my day off. When it's your day off, go recharge your batteries. Make time for you. Time flies when you're having fun. Make sure you go out there and have fun. It's the only way you're going to pull yourself out of that rut feeling like you're tired of going to work every day, or maybe you even have the weekend off and you lay in bed all day and just try to relax. Monday comes around, you got to go back to work, and you still don't feel like going to work. That's because rest is not enough. The opposite of work is play. Yes, rest and taking breaks is necessary, but the opposite of work is play. In order to recharge those batteries, you got to go play. So figure it out what it is that you enjoy, whether it costs money or takes time. Figure it out, put it on a list, keep track of it, so when it's your time to have free time, you could take time to go play. It's good for your mental health. It is necessary. We've seen lots of people in the chat spiral out of control. Somebody that's friends with everybody all of a sudden hates everyone and is pushing everyone away. It's because they are spiraling out of control. They're hyper-focused on the news that we cover and things going on around us. You got to break away from that and take time for you. It's important for your mental health. I care about all of you hooligans. I got to do the same thing for myself. So tomorrow's my day to play. I will make sure to do so. Of course, I'll stop in and say hello to all the hooligans. I think about you guys when I'm not around. And I will see all of you on Monday. So our next Coffee with Hooligans will be 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday. I will see all of you guys then. See all of you guys later today for the Orange Eagle and maybe some gaming. We'll see. Big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership program, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.